All right, folks. Good afternoon from Monrovia. We are coming to you live from up Capitol Hill, live from the grounds of the um legislature, the home of the first branch of government. And of course, we're here this afternoon, sorry, to provide you a brief update, as we always do, before the actual. The legislature, as you know, comprises two houses, the House of Rep and that of the Senate. As we speak, with the time already at 12:30 p.m., the House of Representatives is having active session right now. There's a normal legislative activity going for about 30 minutes or so. The House has been actively moving on with their own sitting for today. But what's happening at the level of the Liberian Senate is a bit different. But again, this is something that is usual now, that the Senate will usually start session sometime past 12 noon. Senators are already here. And on the flip side there, you see the vehicle belonging to the pro tem, Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, is already here. And at the flip side, right before us, is the VP escort. The vice presidential motorcade is already here as well. So what that means is that the vice president is present here on the grounds of the legislature. The pro tem is present. All right, so our sincere apologies for the break. We do sincerely apologize for the break-in that's due to connection issue here up Capitol Hill. So yes, again, we're here coming to you live from the legislature. I'm Nelson Colette, Ernest Bena on camera, and yes, everything is being set for the official start of session today up Capitol Hill. The vehicles of several lawmakers are here, but the Senate is yet to begin today's sitting. At the House of Representatives, there's an active activity ongoing. What we've gathered is that the lawmakers, the senators, are in a consultative meeting at the moment, after which they're going to begin the activity for today. The vice presidential escort is here, the pro tem own vehicle is here, and including other lawmakers, other senators from several counties, they're here as well in a very good number today. But just to go back a little on some of the activities from last Thursday, some of what the Senate embarked on, some of the activities that made it on or the items that made it on the agenda at the level of the Liberian Senate, some of the progress and those things that the Senate was able to pass on last Thursday. So there were a series of issues that made it on the floor, one of which had to do with the Cybersecurity Act. The Liberian Senate concurred with the House of Representatives on last Thursday for the passage of that act. The Senate unanimously voted for the passage of the cybersecurity bill. What that means is that with the concurrence from both houses and this instrument now passing through the legislature, once the president signs on it, it becomes a law that will, in a way, control the use of social media, come up with what constitutes a crime and what the penalties are for those involved with cyber crimes across the country, that whenever someone's image or information is being used the wrong way, that person can file a lawsuit, and there's an instrument coming down from the legislature that will back that individual as to what penalty should be taken, what crime, what violation, and all of that. So the instrument was presented on the floor last Thursday, and the Senate concurred with the House of Representatives on the cyber crime law. But then on the flip side, there were other instruments as well. Most of you have been following closely the activity with the Hotel Africa demolition exercise. The government of Liberia had planned initially to demolish some of the structures along that corridor, since in fact there was a planned renovation for the Hotel Africa that has been abandoned for several decades in the country. Well, that information was received by some residents of that environment in a strong way, since in fact they have constructed homes on the land there, though belong to the government of Liberia, but they've constructed homes, very durable structures. They have the families and all of that within that vicinity. So there has been concern. The folks at some point were saying, protesting, calling on the government of Liberia to come to reconsider the decision. At some point, we went there, engaged with some of the folks who said, if government wants to remove them, then there should be some form of compensation or relocation or some sort. But there is a need for the government to reconsider the decision. They were giving up to the end of October to vacate the Hotel Africa facility, but following a communication from Monrovia County Senator Sir Hali Joseph, it was being revealed last Thursday that the government of Liberia has now decided to have an extension in the time for those residents to vacate the property. And that time, according to former Pro Tem Albert Chie, who happens to be the chairperson on public works at the Liberian Senate, that time is now April of next year. So what that means is that the residents of the Hotel Africa community have up to April of next year to vacate the property. But in the communication from Senator Sir Joseph, one of the things he's been pushing for is for the government of Liberia to not just remove the residents of the Hotel Africa community, since in fact they are Liberian citizens and they deserve to be protected under the laws of the country, but he's also calling for compensation and relocation. So not just demolishing the properties they have there, but he's calling on the government to compensate the residents. And since in fact government has several lands and properties across the country, to have those residents relocated so that with the compensation, they can be able to construct structures on those new locations that they'll be relocated to. And that is the latest on that communication. The government has decided to extend the time for the demolition exercise. But whether the government of Liberia is going to compensate and relocate the residents of the Hotel Africa community, that is what remains unclear at the moment. But it is now confirmed that the government, as per what the Senate's chairperson on the Public Works Committee have said, that the government has reconsidered her decision and there will be an extension for the residents of the Hotel Africa community. Now, there were several listings with respect to nominations from the office of the president that were received as well. And you also know that we brought this update where the president has requested an extension in the time for the submission of the draft national budget. Well, finally on the weekend, the draft national budget was being presented to the legislature, and we're looking forward to seeing what happens today. For the first time since the submission of the draft budget, the Senate is going to be having, or the legislature in general, is going to be having a sitting today. So we look forward to seeing what happens, but there are indications that the communication or the draft budget being presented to the legislature by the executive is something that is going to be put on the floor today for discussion. The draft national budget is in the tune of 1.2 billion, making it the highest since the country, Liberia, was established to have a budget in the billions now, leaving the millions. And so we look forward to seeing what happens today. The agenda for today is being prepared for the Liberian Senate. The consultative meeting is expected to end very shortly, and once the senators conclude with the consultative meeting, they are going to be moving into the main chambers where today's sitting is expected to take place. But again, as we stated earlier, the House has already started their own engagement. There's an active legislative exchange, or the conduct of legislative business going on now at the level of the House of Representatives. So we thought to bring you this quick update right here from up Capitol Hill. Thanks a lot for watching Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Colette. Thanks to Ernest being out on camera. The next time we'll come to you live from the Senate will be from the main chambers where today's sitting is expected to commence shortly.